Welcome to the Freedom Factor. I'm your host, Oliver Bardwell, and today we have special guest Helena Hayes. She's joining us for This Week at the Capitol. She's going to give us kind of a rundown of what happened this week and what we can expect next week. So thank you for joining us, Representative Hayes.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here. As you can see, I am in the House chamber today. It's Friday, and it's kind of quiet here. Most people have gone home for the week, but there's definitely some tours and some people working at their desks still. And yeah, so I'm excited to get to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
Right. Thanks for coming on. And you're going to go see DeSantis later, aren't you?
Yep. He is coming to Des Moines here this evening or late afternoon. And then he was in Davenport this morning.
Wow. He's making his rounds then.
Yep, he sure is.
So we had a crazy week this week, and Wednesday we had a lot of bills debated on the floor, and we had the HF 623 SF 538 pass through the House and on its way to the governor's desk. What else?
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about those? What would you like to say about them? Is there anything we missed?
Well, as most of your viewers probably know, I'm a freshman. I'm one of 24 new freshman legislators. That's what they call us here, just like in high school or college. And so it's been a steep learning curve. But from what I understand, the people that have been here for a while, they have said this is one of the most just exciting few weeks of session. It's been we're up to 8 weeks, 9 weeks already. We're a little over halfway. We're on the downslide already, which is just amazing. I can't believe it's going so fast. And they have just made comments that they haven't seen like the number of controversial bills that we have done this year. They haven't seen the sheer number of that before. The things that we have pushed back against and made headway with, the progress is definitely historic. It's something new, and they've said that. I don't get to say that because I'm the freshman here, and I'm still new at all this, and I don't get to speak from my past experience. But this week on Wednesday, 2 days ago, we had some pretty heated time on the floor here. We had debate for 3 hours just on one bill, which was the banning of transgender procedures for minors, 18 and under. The one that would prevent top surgeries for girls that want to transition. It would prevent the use of hormonal therapy and any of the permanent style procedures, medical procedures that have not been verified, have not been confirmed to be safe, and do harm. They harm these children. Even though on the floor for 3 hours we heard some really scary things from our opposition, including, if we don't let them do this, they're going to commit suicide. And if we don't let them do this, everybody's going to move out of Iowa. People are going to move out of Iowa because of that. And it was definitely discouraging because it was just a rhetoric that was said over and over again. So Wednesday, we had 4 major bills, as you all probably know. The age-appropriate bill, which takes gender identity and sexual orientation out of instruction and classroom materials. It addresses the books. So that particular bill had to do with the 2 key words, age appropriate, and taking the educational standards that are in the code and saying that the Sex Act is not age appropriate, and including library materials and any instructional programming that is accomplished, especially the books. And so that one is really exciting because it is a method in which the schools can pull back from all of these books, because if they have sex acts in them, either visually or descriptively, they're not age appropriate, and therefore they're not permitted in an educational setting like school.
And that just
So
makes
that one,
perfect sense.
yeah, yeah, and sometimes I get these mixed up because I had some other bills that I submitted that it came at it a little bit different way, but that's the way that our education committee went, was looking at that language, the age appropriateness language, versus some other options that we could have done too. And I think so when it took age appropriateness, it defined that as not to include a sex act, and then it defined what a sex act was. And we don't want to go into that description here. You can always look
No.
it up. But you have to be so careful with this language, and you have to be very descriptive and you know precise, or that's where we always get all these times where the interpretations, like, well, did it say this or did it mean this, or you could interpret it this way. And yeah, that's why we get all these court cases, it seems like. So we have that bill. So the other ones we had,
Let me ask you a question real quick.
please.
What what's the difference between that bill and what the Senate's running on that?
um
Or
they
do you
have
know?
not, yeah, they have not actually done, they don't have that particular bill. They have taken the governor's recommendations for that, which are definitely not as stringent, not as, not quite the same. And they've passed that language through the Senate, but we would like to strengthen that when we take our House bill and send it over to them. So I know that and I can't speak too much to it in detail, I'm sorry, but I know the Senate bill for sure talked about how if one book gets pulled in one school, then it has to be pulled across the state. But I'm not entirely sure of all the details in that bill. So it just wasn't as strong. We really preferred our House bill, and so we hope that they will accept that and take that and run with it.
So
However,
where is that right now? It passed through the House. So now
well, when a House bill gets passed and then it's sent to the Senate, they will take it up, and if they don't already have a companion to it, it'll start the process all over. It'll be given a subcommittee, a committee, and work its way up. And so, if I say anything wrong in terms of the process or the rules, I hope your viewers will have a little bit of grace on me, because as a freshman, I'm still learning a lot of the procedures and the protocol and all this and how everything happens, and Germain and Second Amendment and all this stuff. So they will take it up though as a regular bill. They just or there's I think a couple of other things that I don't quite understand. I want to say they can adopt them or merge them, and there's some different things that can be done. But what they have done, what the Senate has already done, which is exciting, this week also they passed the bill that will ban hormonal therapy, the surgeries, the permanent harm type stuff. And so that's already gone through the Senate. And now that the House has passed it, that all it needs to do is go to the governor's office. And that's very exciting.
yeah, we're really excited about that.
Hmm.
I just watched a video where a young woman did a testimony in
Mm.
Indiana on SSB or SB 480 there, similar bill, and she was for it. And she had gone through the surgeries, taken the hormones. She talked about how much pain she was in and how terrible it was, and how now none of the doctors would
Yeah,
help her with the damage and everything. So if we can save just one child from that, I mean, it's well worth the fight.
that's right. There's a lot of stories like that. And if your listeners want to go to dtransvoices.org, if you want a horror movie for the night, I mean, go there and listen to some of those testimonies. They're horrific.
They're
What these
horrific.
people have been through, and what they have to continue to go through. You can't undo that, and that's what's so sad about this. You can't undo this stuff, and to think that the adults are the ones perpetrating that down onto children as young as 15, 16 is it's just unacceptable. So one of the arguments that we heard this week was, well, you guys are all about parental choice, right? All you Republicans, you want parental choice all the time. And so isn't this another opportunity for parental choice? That was an amendment that was proposed by the Democrats to allow parental choice in this. And if the parent said that their 16-year-old could do it, then they had a legal right to go ahead and go through that medical procedure. And of course, did not this is not the same thing as that. Think about like casinos or strip clubs and, you know, 16, 17-year-olds, they don't get a 15-year-olds, they don't get to go into those places either. There are things that minors just they don't get to do, even if the parent gave them permission. They don't get to go on the floor of a casino. They don't get to go sit at the bar at the strip club. It's just they don't do that. And there's plenty of other
Right.
things, you know,
There's a lot of
tattoos, and
things.
there's a lot of things. So you know that didn't really hold weight for um, a lot of us, but it was certainly another argument presented. So we are about choice of parents to step and get involved in their children's lives as they should be. It's just the way it should be. So
Yeah, definitely. So where's the bathroom bill at right now?
well, it is coming over to the House. The House hasn't taken it up yet. Uh, there's been talk. We'll see it this week in the House, in discussion and everything. So that's all I really know. But it's certainly going to come, and I think we have a really good opportunity to see it pass too, just based on what we've done already this past week. Uh, the language in there, for what I'm told, is a lot similar to what was passed last year in the women's sports bill. So because they know that that language can, you know, do well in court and has been examined very closely already, the idea that they pulled that forward to the bathroom bill, so it shouldn't have any problems. I don't think. Yeah, you know, we'll wait and see. We had some, you know, even within our own party, our Republican Party, we had some people that opposed, uh, you know, the good parts of these bills and did not want to get on board with it. So I'd like to think that that one isn't that controversial, but yeah, it always is. It always is.
You
So
wouldn't
it'll
think
be
so.
coming up. If not next this week, it'll be next the following week. Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
So what can we
Yeah.
expect next week? What do you know about next week that we should be looking for?
Yes. Well, far as I know, the the bathroom bill will definitely be in conversation. Hopefully starting next week, if not the following soon. And you know, we have a lot of other style bills that are going to be. Not so much in education. I don't think education is really the committee. Education committee has really already done a lot of their major accomplishments, but I know that they have a lot of other things on their docket, like there's a school board omnibus. There's shared. There's some private some CPI instruction immunization stuff. There's some of the stuff we've talked about a little bit in caucus. Um, Let me see here. We've really gotten to a lot of educational bills. That's been a very, very busy committee. Teacher licensure. Some of these are just some basic bills, but I would expect next week to be a lot quieter in terms of controversial bills. A lot was accomplished this week, and otherwise, it's going to be. I know they want to focus on the realignment bill. They're taking 37 government agencies and pulling them down to, I believe, was it 16? So that was a 1,600 page document. Very big bill. Lots of things to look at there. There's been a lot of conversation about some clarification in that, and you know, cleaning up some things in there too. So I know that's going to be a lot of talk. So the realignment bill. Um, there's more, but I know on my radar and my committees that I'm on natural resources, environmental science, and international relations. It's pretty quiet.
Okay,
We just
okay.
talk about raccoons and deer,
Is there a
but
raccoon problem in Iowa?
very much so. Yes, very much
Yeah.
so.
Well, I could attest to that. We
268%
get them on our
increase.
back we get them on our back deck. I just usually
Yeah.
shoo them off, but
Well, now if you live on agricultural land, you don't have to just rely on just shooing them off, because you can't shoo off, you know, 10 or 15 or 20 a night and that are destroying your crops. So they can actually, without permission, take care of that
okay.
on agricultural land. So that's one of the things that we took care of in our natural resources committee. So
I live in the city, so I'll just have to keep shooing them away. But it's never 10 or 15 or 20 either. It's just one family that likes to steal the stuff from our bird feeder and our squirrels and everything else.
they
All
certainly
right.
like to do that.
Well, we really appreciate everything you're doing. I mean, it was an exciting week, and it's heartening to see some of these bills come to fruition. We want to stay on top of the other education bills for sure, and help you guys in any way we can. So
Well, Oliver, and to all your listeners and followers, my goodness, we really did get a lot accomplished this week. But I want to ask that you guys not let up. You know that you continue to be heard by the legislature, and in the Senate. Make sure that you're reaching out regarding the bathroom bill, especially that one. That's like probably the next most controversial one. Otherwise, everything I'm kind of looking at here is pretty basic stuff. Most people would call it fairly boring. We have a crimes of communism one, which I'd like to see come through. That has to do with addressing some of the aspects of our educational institution and different parts of our society that communism and socialism are creeping in and need to be put a cap on. But please continue to reach out. You came here Wednesday and you sat. I don't know if you can see it in my video here, but you sat right up there in the galley for
I did.
hours.
I
Hours you
did.
did.
I did,
And
and when the LGBTQ community came and surrounded me, I killed them with kindness, and we had great discussions.
oh, really? I didn't get to hear about that.
Oh, yeah. No, I had some really interesting conversations, and I
Oh,
hope
that's great.
impactful, but, loving kindness always wins the day.
It really does, and I'm looking forward to this weekend on Say, because now I get to be in this position and receive all of the criticism. I received a wonderful email from a young lady that is a student at one of the Regent universities, and she's back in her hometown of Oskaloosa this weekend, and we're going to get together because she reached out to me and said, "You know what? I'm transgender. She has been for 3 years." And she had a very nice, well prepared email to me, unlike some of them that have been very, mean. They they don't like a pushback, but she was very respectful and very kind. And she said, I want to just know why you've done some of these things, and I'm looking forward to our conversation because a lot of these people, the truth is, a lot of people don't have conversations with them. And I know our other representatives have had a lot of wonderful conversations with the Democrats, with other people in the hallway that from their district, anybody that they can reach to. That there's so many straight up lies. They're lies in the media that they are telling about this kind of stuff and why it's wrong to push back against it. That we are actually the ones harming children by not allowing them to come out, not allowing them to have surgeries, not allowing them to read these pornographic books, that we're the ones that are hurting them. And to actually sit down and show them the books or show them the language or describe things to them, and to express that concern and that actual, like what you're saying, that compassion. We have to do that, Oliver. We really, really do, because we are all here. We're all going to be dead someday. And what's really going to count in this? Are we going to, yeah, I know the Democrats and some of that group would say, are we going to love them where they're at? Which you can, but you move them away from that, because we don't need people destroying themselves and their families and their own minds. We want healthy, happy, whole people,
For
including
sure.
children. It's very simple, very simple.
Yeah,
So you all know that. You all know that. You've got great listeners. You've got great followers, and we appreciate so much that you guys have stayed connected. You've reached out. You've made your voice heard. I can't tell you how many emails I have received that say thank you uh, for banning transgender surgery and the harm that that does. So hundreds. I'm up to hundreds so far. So they
that's
far
wonderful.
outweigh the ones that were asking for it. So it is wonderful. It's
That's
very
perfect.
wonderful.
That's wonderful. So I think with that being said, everyone keep it up, keep emailing, email your thanks for sure.
Yes.
Because it's
Yep.
easy to to beat up on our legislators when we feel they're not doing what we're doing, what we want them to. But then when they work so hard to protect our children, we definitely need to thank them. So thank you so much, Helena, or Representative Hayes.
Hey, no, no, that's good. It really is hard to beat up on your legislators, and I can understand now why people do. But when you're on the inside, like when you're in this chamber and you see like the resistance from within, you go, oh, no wonder why they struggle with getting things done. But you know what? We keep pushing back. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We're going to keep coming against this woke agenda. We're going to keep pulling it back and standing on goodness and truth. There's absolutes out there, and children are our most valuable resource, and we need to take care of them. So thank you so much for you guys are all of your followers have been wonderful and so supportive, and we appreciate everything that you guys have done. We need to hear from you.
For sure, and we will keep it up. So thank you so much. I would love to say I'd see you tonight, but I've got so much work to do. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Just tell Mr. DeSantis hello for me when you talk to him, when you guys have
Okay,
dinner
sounds
later.
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
you have a blessed
All
day.
right. Thank you so
All
much.
right, and
Bye bye.
everyone else, just remember our liberties we prize and our rights we will maintain, and we will see you
Amen.
next time. Amen.